Welcome to Crypto Smasher. Here we do deep dives in all things crypto. If you want to stay informed on our content, then be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. In today's video we will be discussing the merits of Lilly Finance. Lilly Finance, according to their website, identifies needs, opportunities and problems in healthcare, then employs a next-generation financing system to make change happen faster. The project will be listed on SiteMask. Insight will be provided by Redditors who in most cases are also invested in Saitama. Now, I have not corroborated all the comments and there's nothing in the video that should be taken as investment advice, rather purely for informative purposes. Let's begin. Comment 1. 8% off the top for marketing, which could be almost anything, so consider that a slush fund. 1% off the top for the Lilly Foundation, charity. 20% off the top for reserve. So 29% of the total supply is controlled by the dev team. But it's worse because 41% are being burned at the start, so a whopping 49.15% of the actual starting supply is in wallets controlled by the dev team before trading ever begins. They just straight up get for free half the supply. And then it's a tax of 10% on every single buy and sell. Not 10% round trip, 10% every single time. Oh, and of that, 4% of each buy and sell goes to the marketing wallet. It wasn't good enough for them to take 8% off the top. They also need 4% of every single transaction. Also remember how this was all for charity to fund procedures for kids. None of that 10% tax goes to charity. But 4% goes to the marketing slush fund? What a joke. And isn't this supposed to be about medical payments? You want a 10% surcharge on every payment you make for your medical bills? Seems very practical. I honestly don't know if I've ever seen worse tokenomics than this. That is so obviously a cash grab. Invest at your own peril. Comment 2. The original Florida corporate filings for Lilly Finance had Russ, the chief operating officer of Saitama, listed as a co-founder. After being questioned about it, Russ stated it was a mistake and they filed new paperwork removing Russ from Lilly. Apparently it was not a mistake after all because they just partnered again, but in the state of Texas. Texas is where Russ lives. There was also a trail through the blockchain showing a connection between large wallets and the address listed as Lilly Finance. That address has since been deleted from the Lilly Finance page and replaced with a new contract on the way. Comment 3. The real problem for Lilly is that its goal is completely unfounded and unrealistic. The healthcare industry would benefit in no way from using cryptocurrency as a means of payment. It's too volatile on the surface. The value store is changing from minute to minute. If they took payment for a $25,000 surgery with a crypto on Tuesday and that coin dropped 40% on Wednesday, exactly how are they balancing their books? How would an insurance company benefit from this scenario? How exactly would a non-stable coin work in a real-life situation for their stated purpose? Full disclosure, I will buy some Lilly at the drop. Just because there's likely quick money to be made. But definitely not because of a super solid use case. Comment 4. What they did wrong was pretend Lilly is a great new company with brilliant prospects in medical billing, but failed to mention Lilly was just a company they had recently invented out of thin air. If they'd said from day one they were creating two companies, nobody would mind. It's the deceit which is the concerning part. When questioned on the matter, I think Russ said it was a clerical error. His name had been included on Lilly paperwork, which is quite unconvincing. Broadly speaking, people don't like having their money tied up with deceitful people. Even if people have no objections on moral grounds, they should probably be careful, since dishonest people have a habit of bringing things crashing down around themselves, or disappearing and leaving behind others with empty pockets. Of course, the devs may have all the best intentions in the world and just see this as a harmless and quick step to give the project a boost. But the issue is that now we don't know what the truth of the matter actually is. Comment 5. A super enthusiastic concept with no explanation or idea of how it's going to be accomplished. And no practical road to implementation or even an explanation of what they have done so far to even allude to real-life application. Comment 6. Aren't you even a tad concerned about the starting token distribution? A reserve wallet owned by the devs? The 10% tax on every transaction? The tokenomics just pad slush funds owned by the devs. Not to mention the white paper expresses a lot of concerns in the medical industry, but doesn't offer concrete solutions Lilly can solve. Comment 7. Their white paper is tiny and isn't a white paper honestly, their tokenomics are laughably weird. The devs have a worrying level of control over a large portion of the liquidity, and it's built on probably the worst blockchain for the utility it claims to want to have. You just can't have medical payments on ERC20, it's just so inefficient it would never get going. Comment 8. It's got terrible tokenomics, and catastrophic tokenomics for the utility it claims to want to have, it just doesn't make sense to such a degree that there just has to be something else to it. No one could be that stupid to see it won't work how they claim to want it to work. You just couldn't have a medical billing system based on an ERC20 token, the cost and waste would be enormous. I know the medical sector is wasteful with money, fits like a glove. But in this case the money isn't being pocketed by the right people, so it doesn't make sense. That's all for the comments, many thanks for your time today, hope you found this insightful. See you in the next video.